I never believed a dog could change the direction of my life. To me, they were just animals. Loyal, yes, but distant. They belonged to other people, people who needed company. I never thought I'd be one of them. But life rarely asks for permission before rewriting your story. When my husband, Michael, handed me the leash of a young German shepherd named Rex, I didn't see a friend. I saw a guard, a living alarm system to protect the house while he was away. Michael's business trips were frequent, and his absences had become routine. The house always felt too quiet after he left. The nights stretched endlessly, filled with the echo of my own thoughts. "He'll keep you company," Michael had said, giving me that reassuring smile I had once trusted so easily. I smiled back, but inside I felt nothing. Solitude had grown comfortable, my only companion, my shield. I never imagined an animal could break through it. At first, Rex was silent company. He followed me from room to room, his paws brushing softly against the floor, eyes always watching. I fed him, took him for walks, patted his head out of habit more than affection. He never demanded, never intruded, just existed beside me, patient and still. Then one stormy night, everything changed. The wind howled outside, rain hammered against the glass, and the house trembled under the weight of the storm. I went to lock the back door, but the key jammed in the lock. Panic gripped me fast. My breath quickened. Michael was thousands of miles away, and I was utterly alone. Every creak of the wind sounded like footsteps. Every shadow felt alive. That's when I felt it, a gentle nudge at my hand. Rex. His calm brown eyes met mine, steady and sure, as if to say, "I'm here." He padded over to a drawer near the kitchen and began pawing at it insistently. Confused, I opened it, and there, beneath a stack of papers, lay a spare key. My heart skipped. I had no memory of putting it there. My shaking fingers tried it in the lock, and it turned smoothly. The relief that flooded through me was overwhelming. That night, I sat on the floor beside Rex, my back against the wall. The storm roared outside, but for the first time, I felt calm. His head rested on my lap, and I found myself leaning into his warmth. He wasn't just a guard anymore. He was something far more than that. Days turned into weeks. Michael's trips grew longer, his calls shorter. But Rex remained constant, the one heartbeat in the house that matched mine. When strangers came to the door, he stood firm between me and them. When anxiety crept in like a rising tide, he nudged my hand with quiet reassurance. When the silence felt unbearable, he stayed near, saying everything without a word. One evening while cooking dinner, I caught myself talking to him. At first it was just a passing thought. "You're always watching me, aren't you?" I said with a soft laugh. But soon the words began to flow. I told him about my fears, my loneliness, the cracks in my marriage I didn't dare admit to anyone else. Rex tilted his head slightly, eyes focused, listening, no judgment, no interruption. And in that small wordless moment, I realized something profound. Love doesn't always come with grand gestures. Sometimes it's found in the quiet presence of someone who stays when everything inside you is falling apart. But life wasn't done testing us. It started with a car. A sleek black sedan parked across the street one evening when I returned from the market. The engine idled softly, its driver hidden behind tinted glass. I thought nothing of it. But the next night it was there again, and again the night after. Each time the unease in my stomach grew heavier. Rex sensed it too. His body stiffened, eyes fixed on the car, low growls rumbling from deep within his chest. Then one night a sound shattered the stillness, a faint rustling near my bedroom window. Gravel crunching softly under cautious footsteps. My heart froze. Before I could move, Rex was on alert, his growl low and dangerous. Then came his bark, sharp, fierce, tearing through the silence. The footsteps retreated fast, followed by the slam of a car door and the fading roar of an engine. I stood frozen at the window, trembling, but this time I didn't feel powerless. Rex stood beside me, body tense, gaze fixed on the dark street as if daring the night to return. The next morning, I called Michael, voice still shaking as I explained what happened. He sounded concerned but distracted. "Maybe it's nothing," he said softly. "I'll try to come home soon." But deep down, I knew he wouldn't. Something inside me shifted that day. I realized I couldn't wait for someone else to protect me. From that moment on, Rex and I became a team. We circled the house together each evening. I reinforced the locks, installed security cameras, and learned to notice details I'd once ignored. The flicker of headlights, the rhythm of the neighborhood. Rex walked a step ahead, alert, vigilant, scanning everything. For the first time, I felt both safe and strong. Then one evening, as we returned from our walk, I saw him, a man standing at the far end of the street. Tall, lean, dressed in a dark jacket, hands in his pockets. He wasn't just passing through, he was watching. The stillness in his stance felt deliberate, wrong. Rex growled, the low sound slicing through the cool air. The man tilted his head slightly, acknowledging it, then stepped back into the shadows and disappeared. That night, I checked every door, every lock, every window, twice, yet unease stayed lodged deep in my chest. Rex was restless too, pacing near the door, ears twitching at every faint sound. The next day I saw the man again, broad daylight this time. He was talking with Mrs. Keller, our elderly neighbor, laughing easily. "That's Caleb," she said cheerfully when she noticed me watching. "New fellow from the neighborhood security committee." Security committee. The words rang hollow. My instincts whispered otherwise. He wasn't here to protect anyone. He was the same man who had been watching my house at night. Sleep became impossible. Every creak of wood, every shift of air made my heart race. Then, sometime past midnight, it happened again. A faint click from the backyard gate. My breath caught. Rex lifted his head instantly, a deep growl vibrating from his chest. Then, a crash. The back door shuddered under the force of impact. The handle rattled. Someone was trying to break in. Before I could even reach my phone, the door burst open. He was there. Caleb. Eyes wild, gleaming under the faint kitchen light. "I knew you'd be alone," he hissed, stepping inside. "I've been watching you. Always waiting. So vulnerable. Get out," I screamed, voice breaking. He only smiled, cruel and deliberate. "No one's coming, Anna. No one will hear you." Then he lunged. Rex moved first, a blur of fur and fury. His jaws clamped down on Caleb's arm with a snarl that shook the air. Caleb shouted in pain, stumbling back, but Rex held on, refusing to yield. The struggle was a blur of movement and sound, growls, screams, the shattering crash of glass. And then I saw it. A flash of silver. A knife. My scream tore through the night as the blade plunged into Rex's side. His body jerked violently, a broken whimper spilling from his throat. Something inside me snapped. I grabbed the nearest thing, a heavy glass vase, and swung with every ounce of strength I had. The vase smashed against Caleb's temple with a sickening crack. He staggered, but I swung again, until he collapsed to the floor. Silence fell. Heavy, suffocating silence. I dropped to my knees beside Rex. His golden eyes met mine, still gentle, still loyal, even through the pain. They seemed to say, "I did this for you." Tears blurred my vision as I pressed my hands to his wound. No, stay with me, boy. Please." But his breathing slowed, his body trembling. The fight faded from his eyes. Somewhere in the distance, sirens wailed. Red and blue lights flickered across the walls. Voices shouted, boots thundered through the house. "Ma'am, are you hurt?" one of them called. "Step back, please." But I couldn't. I held Rex closer, my tears soaking into his fur. Around me, the world blurred, the click of handcuffs, the hum of radios, the sharp scent of rain and blood. All I could feel was the warmth leaving his body, and the cold truth settling in. That night I lost more than fear. I lost my only friend. And somewhere deep inside, I found the part of me that would never be afraid again.